about this. The Ben Johnson Bears, the Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, Chicago Bears are really interesting. And we're all kind of watching it. Whether it hits or fails, I think it's going to hit. But it is interesting. Ben Johnson, when he was in Detroit, was with Jared Goff. And this morning, we went and looked at Ben Johnson's first 6 games with Caleb Williams and his first 6 games with Jared Goff. And you know what you see? Identical numbers. Caleb just wins more. So 3 things are very clear. There's clearly progress with Caleb Williams and the Bears offense this year to last. And it also proves most of you weren't watching Jared Goff and the 2022 Lions. By the way, that Lions team, they had Amon St. Brown, O-line, PFF had it top 10. They had Penei Sewell. They had 2 good running backs, including DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams. It was a good team. They had a lot of good players. And they weren't very good. And nobody was watching that team. And everybody's watching this team. The only time you watch that Lions team, last game of the year when they went to Lambeau and beat Aaron Rodgers and knocked Green Bay out of the playoffs. And that was Aaron's last game as a Packer. That's when you first watched them. The difference is the Bears, we've been watching it since June. That's when we've been watching this Bears team. So I think, and here's the thing is that Caleb Williams was under a microscope. His first start at Oklahoma, I think he replaced Spencer Rattler or something. I mean, it was like, first start Oklahoma, then at USC, then last year, then this year. Jared Goff, you didn't watch him in Detroit until that game in Green Bay. And so here are facts about Caleb Williams and the Bears and Ben Johnson through 6 games. These are facts. Looked it up this morning. He is taking far fewer sacks. That was my number one concern. Not yards, not touchdowns. He's taken fewer sacks. He has a higher passer rating, and the Bears lead the NFL in big plays per game. It is working. It is absolutely working. It's a little rough. The operational side of it's a little clunky about twice a game, but Greg Olsen came on this show earlier and said it's fine right now.
Franchises fail young quarterbacks more than young quarterbacks fail franchises. And I think you're seeing it with what Kevin O'Connell is doing with some of these rebirth of Sam Darnold, who now continued it in Seattle. And, you're seeing what goes on with so many of these quarterbacks that were left for dead. Fit is such an important part of all of this. And then you factor in just how young Caleb is and how fresh he is in his NFL career. I think there's been great growth.
Okay. That's the end of it. You guys got to help me out here. Why does it feel like Colin is lecturing us right now on Caleb Williams when he was specifically he was the one that says that just last week he was saying that like Ben Johnson isn't really happy with Caleb. He's rolling his eyes a lot. Colin has been highlighting Tyson Bagent and whatnot. He said, I don't know if this is going to work. And now he's like, it is going to work. And even last week when they won, against the Saints, which was not the best game by any stretch of the imagination, he was saying how Caleb will never be that accurate of a quarterback. The week before that, he defended all the criticism from Troy Aikman, which I think are all fair points, except for the accuracy. Like, just saying that he'll never be accurate, I ripped that as soon as he said it, because I'm like, why? Under what world are we putting a cap on his level of accuracy right now? That doesn't make any sense to me. If he was 29 years old, then okay, sure, but like that's obviously not the case. But that's neither here nor there. It's not that the take he's sharing right now is fundamentally wrong. It's just the way in which it's being presented. That is where I'm just like, why does it feel like you're lecturing me on Caleb Williams and now you're telling me that I wasn't watching the Detroit Lions, but they were on Hard Knock. Why Hard Knocks? Why can't I think of what the show is? I remember watching that. So I did watch the Detroit Lions, and it's just funny because Colin had done the comparison. I think it was with Jared Goff to Sean McVay, or whatever it was, and he talked about that, or maybe it was with Jared Goff as soon as he got Ben Johnson and he did like the first few games. And I ripped that right away as well, because I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I said, first off, Jared Goff got to Ben Johnson when he had already been coached by Sean McVay for years. This was a quarterback that had already been in the NFL. This is a quarterback that had already been in a Super Bowl. So, like, what does that matter? And the first 6 games, the first 10 games, the first season of one quarterback with a coach and another quarterback with the coach, when they are at such completely different stages of their careers and they're playing, they have a different roster and a different schedule, that's not actually real data. It's really not. It's actually, what if in these first 6 games or whatever, the Chicago Bears this season played prime Kansas City Chiefs, prime Philadelphia Eagles, prime Washington Commanders, prime Baltimore Ravens, prime Buffalo Bills, like across the board. And they're like, well, he just went against the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth best defenses in the NFL, going up against the best first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth best quarterbacks in the NFL. And Jared Goff or whoever went up against, last play schedule, went up against just awful people, going up against just, backup quarterbacks, terrible defenses, a fired coach. Like, it's just, the comparison doesn't actually really matter. And it really is the definition of just like, only compare yourself, to your older self, and are you improving? Are you getting better? Which we said Caleb has been. And the Chicago Bears offense has been. And I think right now, the offense itself with Ben Johnson has shown more growth than just Caleb Williams individually, which is a good thing. And this is what I kept trying to emphasize before throughout this whole season, is that there's still so much more on the table, because I think Caleb is playing far from who he can be. And I think a lot of Caleb's success this season so far has been, he's definitely made some really nice plays. He's also made some bad plays, but any of the, like these big plays and this, that, Caleb's been able to execute it, but like they've been a lot of these big time layups, which shows you how great and important coaching is and how great Ben Johnson is. And just wait for Caleb to be able to really execute it and really do what Ben Johnson needs him to do. And then that's when this offense goes from scoring 25 points per game to 32 points per game, whatever it is. Like a true bona fide, high-powered, unstoppable offense. And that has been my take throughout the season so far, is that you can see it all there. You can see it. And the limiting factor right now is Caleb Williams in this offense. And that's why I keep emphasizing, and that's okay. That's okay. It would not be okay if we were talking about year 5, year 6 of Caleb Williams right now, but that's not the case. This is year 1 with Ben Johnson. So I'm okay with him being a limiting factor right now. And it just, to me, overall ends up being a net positive, more than anything. But I just kind of take issue with the whole lecturing of this about Caleb Williams, because I mean, I don't know, John Middlecoff and Colin on their Sunday night show together keep saying, it's not, I don't think it's going to work. This doesn't feel like it's going to work. And Colin's highlighting how much Ben Johnson praised the backup quarterback and how they gave him money, they paid him. And now Colin's like, you just weren't watching the Detroit Lions in 22. And I'm like, well, wait a second. I don't understand the conversation then. I really don't. And again, in any of these types of this type of video, I'm always emphasized, like, a lot of times people call Colin a flip-flopper, and I don't think that's fair, because I think it's okay to change your mind. I think it's okay to be unsure. There are so many times that I express takes where I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't make up my mind. I'm on the fence. And for whatever reason, in sports talk shows, it's considered a cop-out. It's considered like a faux pas, a cardinal sin. You can't be on the fence. You have to have a strong take. And I'm like, that's not life, man. I don't have to do anything. Like, and that's what's kind of made bizarre. If you ever look at, just go on YouTube and you'll search like, top 5 worst takes ever. And it's people trying to make such intense, bold claims just for the sake of it. Skip Bayless saying, Johnny Manziel's going to be bigger than LeBron James. And you're just like, you're just saying that for the sake of saying, Tim Tebow will be better than Tom Brady. And it's just like, you just want to have, it's not even like a hot take necessarily. It's just like, I need to have a big, bold, clearly defined take. And it's just like, that's when you get yourself in trouble. It's okay to be like, I don't know, I need more information. And so I'm all for changing your mind. I'm all for having the original take where like, I don't think Caleb Williams is going to be that good. I think he's going to continue to struggle. I think his accuracy is going to be not good enough. And I don't know if he processes fast enough and blah, blah, blah. I don't think it's going to work. And then now you continue to see him get better and better and better. And you go, actually, no, I think this is great. I think Caleb's going to be awesome. I think him and Ben Johnson are going to win a ton of games together. And, I'm excited. I think it's going to be great, right? Like, that's not flip-flopping. That's changing your mind, which is totally okay. But what I take issue is if I come out here and have a take and I'm like, Caleb Williams is going to struggle. I was like, I think Caleb Williams is a bust. I don't think he should be drafted number 1 overall. To be clear, I never said any of these things, but I'm just saying, he's a bum. He's not good. He's not good. He's not good. I think the Chicago Bears are going to move on from him. And then he starts to play great, or play really good. And people are still kind of defending it, debating him. And now I come here and say, I can't believe you guys are doubting Caleb Williams. I mean, look at all the things that he's done throughout the course of his career. Look what he's done in college. Look what he did as a rookie. Look what he's done. He's awesome. I can't, like, any of the people that are doubting Caleb Williams right now, you guys aren't watching close enough. Like, I don't know, man. It just hits differently to me. It just does. And that's how I'm feeling this right now. You guys let me know, but I feel lectured right now, and it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. I'm struggling. I'm like so surprised by this right now. I'm genuinely thrown off by this right now. I really am. Maybe I shouldn't be, but I am. So I'll leave it to y'all right there. What do you guys all think about the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams? Has he been noticeably better under Ben Johnson? Did you watch the Detroit Lions with Jared Goff in 2022? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.